Hi, welcome to Momster Mash. If you're here, there's a good chance you're a little different. Maybe you're a mom. Maybe you love horror. Maybe you're spiritual, witchy, curious, or just tired of pretending you're not who you are. And if that's you, you're in the right place. My name is Loana, and Momster Mash is exactly what it sounds like, a mashup of who I am. I'm a mom, which already changes you forever. I love horror and always have. Monsters, werewolves, the eerie, the dark stories that somehow make us feel more seen. And over the last few years, I've stepped fully into my spiritual practice, not as a trend, not as a hobby, but as something that keeps me grounded, sane, and protected. So I guess I'm what some people consider a baby witch, although I'm not a baby. And this podcast isn't here to fit neatly into one box because I sure don't. It's not just a mom podcast, it's not just horror, it's not just about spiritual practice. It's a safe place for people, for moms who are a little weird, a little spooky, deeply feeling, and tired of shrinking themselves. Those are some of the things that I'm exploring today, and I want everyone to join me. And I want to say this clearly right up front. You don't have to be a mom in the traditional sense to belong here. Mom can mean many things: nurturing, protecting, creating, breaking cycles, holding space. I want to share a little bit about how I got here because this podcast was born out of survival, healing, and truth. A few years ago, my mom became very sick with dementia, and eventually she passed away. That kind of loss, that kind of trauma, it changes you at a cellular level. It cracks something open that you didn't even know was sealed shut. In that space between grief and rebuilding, I stopped caring about being palatable. I stopped worrying about whether I was allowed to be spiritual, esoteric, intuitive, or different. And I started listening to my heart. I started listening to myself. My spiritual practice became less about labels and more about grounding, protection, and breaking generational patterns. I wasn't trying to escape reality. I was trying to stay in it without drowning. For me, practicing isn't optional. If I don't ground, if I don't check in with myself, if I don't protect my energy, I feel it immediately. I'm all over the place. My body knows, my mind knows, and my family even feels it. And that's when I realized this isn't a phase, it isn't an aesthetic, and it's how I mother. It's part of how I heal, and also it's how I stay whole. Horror fits into this in a really natural way. I've always loved monsters, especially the werewolves. The idea of transformation, the idea of duality, instinct, and power you don't apologize for. It took me years to figure out that this is why I love werewolves so much. Horror gave me a language for things I felt before I could explain them. And now, as my taste grows and changes, I want space to talk about it, not academically or gatekeepy, but just emotionally. What scares us? What comforts us? And what monsters and horror says about us as parents, as people, and as survivors. So, Monster Mash exists because blending these parts of myself saved me from going off the deep end. I'm still going off the deep end, as you will see if you spend more time with me as we go along. But you know what? It's helped me find some friends who see all of me. It helped me build a chosen family instead of chasing approval. I'm not perfect at these things, but I'm starting to get a handle on them. And if that resonates with you, If any of that just hits a note with you, this is your podcast. Come and join me on this journey. This year, I'm also setting some very intentional resolutions. I guess it's a little late to call them New Year's resolutions, but some of the things that I've noticed that I've been focusing on in the last year and a half that I've been practicing. So in these resolutions, I'm focusing on things like embracing my power without shame, prioritizing grounding and self-care. That's something that I find very hard because I tend to take care of everyone else first and leave myself to the last. Continuing to break generational trauma. Redefining prosperity in a way that actually feels safe and sustainable. Redefining how I look at prosperity. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm financially prosperous. You can be prosperous in other ways. I just want to deepen my spiritual practice without rushing it. Each of those intentions might become episodes of their own. So most episodes of Momster Mash will be about 10 or 15 minutes. Something you can listen to while folding laundry, driving, walking your dog, or just sitting down with a candle lit and some incense. Some episodes will be reflective, some will be spooky, some will be messy. All will be messy, and all of them will be honest. Maybe I'll have guests. We'll see how that goes. In the next episode, we're going to start where my heart lives, horror, and why monsters feel safer to some of us than people ever did. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and welcome to Momster Mash.